Sometimes you just gotta bring a vocal over the edge. You have a vocal in a really great spot, but you just need to add a little bit something to it to just bring it over. And a lot of times, this technique that I'm about to share with you is useful on more aggressive songs, aggressive pop, up-tempo songs, but don't be shy to try it on even just stripped-down songs, piano vocal, because it can really impact it there too, obviously in moderation, but go nuts. So what is this tool that I use to bring vocals over the edge sometimes? Let's discuss it. If you're new around here, hi, my name is Giffer from Y&I Recording Academy. If you're old around here, welcome back. I want to show you a technique that I use to just add a little bit of grit to vocals. And this is a very commonly used technique, and the technique is very simply just adding a little bit of distortion or really saturation, which those two terms are interchangeable sometimes, but a little bit of saturation, a musical saturation, to just give my vocal a little bit more dirt and grit. So let me show you an example of how you can accomplish this. So I have a vocal here. I'll play it in the track just to get some context.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration, fascinated by a life can feel like heaven. So let's run now, out so far into the distance.
So that is the vocal. Now I'm just gonna put it in solo mode, and I'm gonna bring up the plugin Decapitator. And the Decapitator is a very commonly used saturation plugin. It's an analog emulated saturation plugin. Most saturation plugins are actually analog emulated, but this is a great one, really widely used. Sometimes it goes on sale for really, really cheap. I definitely recommend picking this up. But you could technically accomplish this with any distortion plugin, but just in moderate amount. This plugin happens to do its job in it's an aggressive distortion plugin, but it's less in your face for some reason. A lot of other distortion plugins, especially the stock ones that come with Pro Tools, are very much in your face. So I like one that's not so much in your face. So the two controls that I'm going to be focusing on is the drive and the mix. That's basically all I'm going to be focusing on. I start with it, the mix completely wet. The dry means the dry signal, and the wet means the wet signal, and then the mix knob just means the amount of dry signal versus the amount of wet signal. So wet signal is the completely processed signal. So I'm going to start with the completely processed signal and bring the drive down to 0. And I'm going to bring the drive up slowly till I get a drive amount, a nice amount of distortion that I like. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off the wet signal. So I'm going to give it some dry signal. So this way it's not only the distorted signal that I'm having going on. So and this will accomplish my vocal to just have a little bit more weight to it, especially in the track. I'm going to be working in solo, but the big difference really happens in the track. I'm working in solo just to demonstrate to you, but I will show it to you in the context of the track. In fact, sometimes in solo it doesn't really sound that great because it sounds a little dirty and a little messy, but in the track it definitely gives that extra punch, or that extra weight, I should say. So let me play the vocal, and I'm going to adjust these settings as I play the vocal.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration.
And it's always good to have the plugin unbypassed. I'm like bringing it up. I'm like, it's not doing anything.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration.
All right.
Fascinated by a life can feel like heaven.
So you hear that dirt really starting to come in, and it might get a little bit louder, even though there's an automatic output gain that like reduces the signal if it gets too loud. If you feel like this original signal was a little quieter, then you can actually bring down the output knob on it by itself. Just bring it down a little bit. So now that I got the right amount of drive, so the drive basically determines how the distortion sounds, and now I'm going to bring down my mix knob all the way dry and mix in that distortion sound with my dry sound gradually.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration.
Nice.
Fascinated by how life can feel like heaven.
So this is probably where I would do it. Again, I would be doing this all in the track, but I want to just demonstrate it for you. So this is without the distortion.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration.
This is with the distortion.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration.
Subtle, but so powerful. Let's play it in the track and see what a difference it makes. So this is without it. You'll notice without it, the vocal's very clean and very nice, but it just needs that extra weight to pull through. So this is without it.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration. Fascinated.
And now let's turn on the distortion, or saturation, I should say.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration. Fascinated by how life can feel like heaven. So let's run now.
Now I'm gonna unbypass and bypass throughout the vocal.
So elated, nothing but exhilaration. Fascinated by how life can feel like heaven.
So audibly, it's not that noticeable in the track, but feeling wise, you definitely got that extra weight and that extra feeling. So this is a really simple trick that I use to make vocals just pop a little bit more here and there in the right situations. Again, like I said, I like to use it on really like aggressive tracks, pop tracks, but I have used them on piano vocal tracks as well. Also, maybe sometimes I'll do different parts, different things. So like maybe sometimes I'll do the verse without any saturation, and then when it comes to the chorus, I'll put on some saturation, or I'll do more saturation than I did in the verse. So really go ahead and switch it up, but this is a really easy technique that you can use to make your vocals pop. I hope you enjoyed it. Listen, if you want to start a home studio, or you want to upgrade your studio, your recording studio, and you're not sure exactly what to buy and where to buy it from, and you're within a budget or whatever, I put together a full free PDF guide that you can download. It's called my Home Studio Gear Guide that you can download, and it literally has everything that you need in a studio in a bunch of different budgets. So go ahead and download that, upgrade your home studio, start a home studio. It's free from me to you. Go ahead and download it and enjoy it. And until next time, see ya.